Hi, my name is Keon Gordon, and this is my Leadership and Management presentation. This presentation is broken into three parts. The first is conflict, second is delegation, and third is creating a healthy work environment. The first part is conflict. The situation is in an emergency department. The manager has just stepped down and decided to take a job as a registered nurse on the best team in the hospital. An interim manager has just taken over from the telemetry floor and is much more strict with the rules coming into the position and is not being very flexible with the nurses that are already on the unit. The new manager has made the nurses aware that the changes are final and if they don't comply, that they can be replaced. The new manager even denied a nurse her vacation time even though it was already approved by the previous manager because she felt that there wasn't enough staff on the unit during that time, even though at this time that same manager was taking her own vacation time. The unit council meeting was held by the staff and the issues were brought up. The unit council chair brought up the issues to the manager and the manager did not care to hear them and told the unit chair that if people wanted to leave, they were more than welcome to because she was already starting to replace them anyways. There are a few steps of conflict management, the first one being compromising, the second competing, third cooperating and accommodating, fifth avoiding, and the last one is collaborating. Compromising means giving up something that you want. It's got to be of equal value as the other person giving up something, and everyone in the end should win. Competing means one pursues what it wants at the expense of another. Only one party ever wins. Managers may use this when a quick or unpopular decision needs to be made. The second is cooperating or accommodating. This is the complete opposite of competing because one party sacrifices his or her beliefs and allows the other party to win. No problem is actually solved here, and the person that's cooperating or accommodating usually expects something in return from the winning party in the future. Smoothing is used to manage a conflict situation. It occurs when a party in a conflict attempts to pacify the other party or to focus on agreements rather than differences. It's rarely results in a resolution of the actual conflict. Avoiding is probably the worst way to deal with a conflict because nothing gets done, the conflict doesn't even get touched on, no resolution ever happens. Collaborating always results in a win-win situation. Everyone sets aside their original goals and they come together to establish a common goal so that everyone can win. This helps with respect in the unit. Everyone respects each other. There's open and honest communication, and this gives everyone the power to make decisions. So there's steps of negotiation. Before negotiation, you have to be prepared. You have to do all your homework, know all the sides of the stories. You have to decide the incentives of the other person, but you also have to know what you want in the end as well. You have to know your starting point, what you're willing to give, and what you're not willing to give. And you should always know about other people's hidden agendas because people are also trying to figure out what they want as well. During the negotiation, you have to maintain composure. You have to speak assertively and be flexible with what you want. You can't always get exactly what you want. You have to be able to give something in return. If you need, take a break, be patient. If anyone gets angry, go ahead and just stop there and come back at a different time when everyone has their self in order. Always try not to be destructive. Always try to be respectful to the other party as well. After the negotiation, restate what's been agreed on, both verbally and in writing, and recognize and thank all the participants. Not everyone wants to step into a negotiation, and when they do, usually everyone wins. 3 destructive negotiating tactics equal ridicule, which means intimidating the other, flattery, which means excessive and insecure praise, and then helplessness. Because nursing is a helping profession and the tendency to nurture is high, managers must be careful not to lose sight of the original intent of the negotiation. Part 2, delegation. So this is a situation in delegating. In a shift in the emergency department is extremely busy, and there's a patient that had to be watched at all times due to being a Baker Act. Our manager decided that the sitter should also be cross-trained as a certified nurse's assistant to be able to help the nurses as well. So the nurse had the sitter/CNA watch the patient, but also make sure that they were being fed, being bathed, and given food throughout the day, and record the patient's vital signs. This helped the nurse not have to go in there as frequently and watch the patient, but also the patient's need be met, and the nurse be able to, when they do hourly round, not have to do as many tasks when they see them. This helped the nurse, the sitter, and the patient all get the best results at the end of the day. There are 5 rights to delegation: the right task, right circumstance, right person, right direction and communication, and right supervision. So the first one, the right task, is when you delegate for a specific patient such tasks that are repetitive, require little supervision, or on a relatively round basis. So in the previous situation, the task was correctly delegated because it was inside the scope of the certified nurse assistant. She is more than capable of feeding a patient and taking their vital signs. The right circumstance means consider the appropriate patient setting, available resources, and other relevant factors. The certified nursing assistant was needed in this circumstance because in a busy ER when a nurse has 5 patients, they're not going to be able to sit there with their Baker Act and watch them and make sure that they're being fed and things like that. Yes, they can come around and do vital signs, but the amount of help that it is for a CNA to be there and do that for them just makes everything flow a little bit better. The next right is the right person. So the right person is delegating the right task to the right person to be performed on the right person. So the nurse is the right person to delegate tasks to the certified nurse assistant who is able to take care of the correct patient. Right direction and circumstance. You have to give clear, concise description of tasks, including its objectives, limits, and expectations. This means you have to have great communication skills with the person that you're delegating tasks to. The nurse was very specific on what she wanted the CNA to do throughout the day, which is watching that patient, feeding them, making sure they take a bath, taking the vital signs. These are all things that are clear and concise for a CNA to understand what they need to be doing. And the last one is right supervision. So right supervision is providing an appropriate monitoring, evaluation, and intervention as needed with feedback. The nurse made sure that she still came around and did her hourly rounding to see if the sitter and the patient were doing fine, giving the CNA time to get breaks and ask questions about the tasks that they were doing, and if they needed some extra supplies or anything to make that happen, they were there to help them. So 3 delegation errors. The first one is under delegation. This is when one becomes overworked and overwhelmed. This is because someone thinks that they think that they should be doing all of the job themselves. They don't want to delegate to other people. They want to take all the responsibility. Over delegation, some like to just give all of their tasks away. They don't help the person that they're delegating. They just throw the tasks at them and hope for the best. And then there's improper delegation, which is delegating at the wrong time to the wrong person for a wrong reason. This could mean including assigning the task or responsibility that are beyond the capability of a person. I couldn't go and tell a CNA to pass this medication to this patient. That is outside of their scope of practice. The last part of this presentation is creating a healthy work environment. The World Health Organization defines a healthy environment as a place of physical, mental, and social well-being, supporting optimal health and safety. So the components of a healthy work environment include skilled communication, true collaboration, effective decision-making, appropriate staffing, meaningful recognition, and authentic leadership. So my current work environment is a high-function emergency department. This environment, in my eyes, is considered to be a very healthy work environment. Our managers always encourage open communication between the director, the nurse manager, the charge nurses, the medics, the CNAs, the sitters, anyone that is a part of our emergency department. Every morning we engage in a huddle where the manager brings up issues that she's come across, and we're allowed to discuss them with her. And then every month we have a unit council where the staff comes together. They talk about the issues that they feel, and then the unit chair brings that to management. And the decision making on the unit happens when the manager sees a change that must happen. She speaks with her peers, she'll speak with us, and most of the time she'll speak with our critical resource educator to make sure the changes are supported by the newest evidence-based practice. The staffing ratios never allow for a nurse to go over the safe ratio of 5 to 1. Effective leadership on a healthy work environment. The best way for this to happen is to promote compassion, promote forgiveness, and promote gratitude. Thank you so much.